On the stage. No, my favorite is cattails. Driving down here, there are, I didn't realize how many ponds are down this way. The cattails are my favorite. I don't even own a pair of waders. I wear hip boots only. Knee-deep water is as deep as you gotta go ever for muskrats. At least where I live, up in northern Minnesota, there's a lot of small ponds, a lot of creeks. But if you're, no, I'll go and I usually grab 4 at a time. I grab 4 lats, slide the traps on, go on this corner of the bridge. I'll grab 4 more on this side, 4 more on the other side. I usually put, I own 500 110, so you put them all. I figure if I can get 25% the first few days of sending, one of every 4 that I've been, one of each corner of a bridge, I'm doing good. You've got to put a lot of iron out, there's not a lot of rats, but there are spots that I trap that it seems like as soon as you start catching them, I don't know if the muskrats they spray or they're musky. If they spray their musky and they get caught, because then it just like it explodes after 2 or 3 days of trapping. They really get in there. So if there's cattails, you walk down in the water and you can kind of see where they're going. And they're path of least resistance. So wherever you find them coming in, if you can fence it off enough, take some cattails and just crack them off and force them into one direction. So they'll go through it. I've gone to places where I've caught a muskrat every single day for every open, I get about from 3 to 13 days open water. That's all I get. And stagnant water, where it starts to freeze. You just can't, you can do it. The last 3 or 4 years I had like 3 days of open water trapping for rats. So it was really, really slow. But I can still catch 125 of them in 3 or 4 days. My dad lives on a little lake and it's full of reeds. A lot of reeds, and those rats will swim through those reeds. And you just walk down in the water and you'll start seeing them. Even if the trail isn't that distinct, I'll walk through it a couple times, bend the reeds out of the way, drop 2 or 3 110s in there, go on the other side of this property, do the same thing. And every rat that comes through there, they're going to find the easiest route. And that's where they go. Or you'll find a feed bed on the shore. A lot of guys will put a trap on the feed bed and then run a foot trap out. I never do that. I never set up a spot where it's dead-ended. You want to go where it's follow through, where you're not dead. If there's a house right here, I never put it this way. I put it this way. And in 1 Minnesota we can disturb the houses a little bit. But when you're in the reeds, I just snap them off and break them down. And I like to trap a lot of lakes and ponds because the water, if you get a lot of rain, it doesn't affect the water level. It doesn't go like a creek. You get a half inch of rain, it'll go up 3 feet. Where the lake will go up a half inch. So, and even if the water does go up, so now you get there at the end of the day, the next day, and it's sitting on the water, it's as easy as this. And it drops you right back in the water again. It's that fast. If you get there and it's underwater, it's as easy as that. And on the last, when you catch them, that trap snaps off. They fall down to the bottom, where you guys always wear shoulder length gauntlets. And if it's on the bottom, a lot of guys, you pick it up and it'll fall off. But if you pick it up, pull it out of the ground and lift it this way, it'll stay on the end of the stake. Again, that's the only reason I ever wanted to do this demo is that it costs me nothing to do. Everybody knows somebody with a table saw. I happen to own one with a ripper on it. I can break up a couple hundred laps in a few hours out of just used 2x4s. And then you just sharpen the ends. This is broken. And 3 foot is my magic number, but a lot of times if you're trapping somewhere, and I don't wire anything down. I can count on one hand how many traps I've lost using the stick. And if it's broken, I always test them. I go through them. And at the end of the year, they're all waterlogged. I learned this the hard way. I store them in 5-gallon buckets. So there'll be 75 of them in a 5-gallon bucket. I put them away wet one. And I shorten them all that much because the bottom's never dry. So now, as soon as I'm done trapping at the end of the year, I get all the traps off, knock the mud off, and then I'll just stack them like we get a kiln drying in my garage for half the winter. They're out of the way, I don't even matter. Dry them and put them away. And then make new ones. Some of them are treated, some of them are treated. Treated is terrible because I treated, I don't know what they do, but when you make a lap out of a treated one, it'll bend like a banana every time. I don't know what it is, but. Yeah, I was kind of shocked to give me an hour to talk about this, but I caught, my record in 1 year in northern Minnesota was 843 muskrats I caught in 1 year. And I don't know what all the stars aligned that year. Every single spot I went to that I would normally catch 8 to 10 rats, I was catching 20 to 30. They got rid of the ponds now, they were a mile from my house. I caught 100 rats, like 98 the year before, and I came back the next year, and I got 240 of them. So whatever happened that winter, it was a good snow, high water when it froze, just a good survival rate of the rats everywhere. Where I trapped within a 20-mile radius of my house was phenomenal. That was 2012, back when the rat prices were high too. But again, the reason I wanted to do this is right here. Free. Don't cost you nothing. I know the guys don't want to hear that stuff, but that's what it is. It's free. Somebody's got a grandpa that's got a table saw. You just cut them. Take a 2x4, you set it at 1 3/8, you cut it twice. You'll have a piece about this wide left over. You drop it, and you rip it through the 1 3/8 again, and you just cut them into 76 pieces, and there you go. Ready to go. Fit every single pounder, every size, every kid starting trapping is going to use these, guaranteed. Once a kid can learn to set these, you catch anything. I've caught more buck making these things. Because what will happen is you're trapping in a rat pond and make them running the same, they're swimming the same trails they are. And usually the only time I'll start using foot traps is if you get a big buck making an area, and you start eating your muskrats. And you'll eat them, and you'll eat them every day. He doesn't seem to get caught in these. So if your pocket sits out, you eat him out, get him out of the way. But, you guys got any questions? Anything for me? There's got to be somebody over here who knows what they're trapping 110s. What's that? What's that? Yeah, so I just 2x4s is what I used to cut them. But 1 3/8, because the Duke, right there, their spring hole is smaller than everything else. 1.5 doesn't really fit them either. But the old, like this old school one, 1.5 with a working that's pretty wide. But that's what's so nice about them, is they lock on, and they do not turn. Once you put that on there, that's where it stays. It's as simple as that. And it won't go anywhere. It will not open like a door. And you catch rats all the time. Okay. And when it sets off, they usually fight, and they go underwater, because I've had eagles and owls steal my rats before. You come there, that's usually where I lose rats.